Hello everybody, I've got a very nice latte here and I am doing our Paint Calm on a Friday video. This is one that I did earlier, and just to give you an idea, but I'm going to be planning my colours and I'm going to be doing it in a different sketchbook. Oh, that's very nice. Right. So I'm going to pick 3 colours. Let's get my brush and my water at the ready. Let's make a space. Here we go. So, which 3 colours? I'm going to do different colours to the ones I did before. I think today I'm going to see what happens with cobalt teal. Quite like the idea of using cobalt teal. Okay, there is our cobalt teal. And what other colour shall we have? Let's use Turner's Yellow. These are my Michael Harding paints. So we've got Cobalt Teal and Turner's Yellow. And what colour should we have to go with that? I think Quinacridone Coral. Now, I'm actually going to be using these quite toned down. Okay, there are our 3 colours. Let me find a mixing palette. Here we go. So I'm going to bring that in. And let's see what happens when we mix our cobalt teal. First of all, with our Turner's Yellow. Ooh. This is looking quite a happy, I'm going to call it quite a happy, cheery palette at the moment. Then let's mix the cobalt teal with the Quinacridone Coral, which is going to go there. Okay. And then we need to mix the Quinacridone Coral with the Turner's Yellow. And that one goes here. Okay, so this is the palette that I'm going to be using today. Let me just write on here what we are using. So this was cobalt teal. This is Quinacridone Coral. And this is Turner's Yellow. Now, what I do want to do is see what all of these look like when they are quite watered down, because I'm going to be using some quite pastel colours. So there is our teal, quite watered down. there is our Turner's yellow. And then here is our quinacridone coral. So when they are paler, you can see that they are not quite so, shall we say, in your face. And then I'm just going to see what these mixes are like when they are watered down. There we go. So let me just bring that up a little bit. I mean, it's all still a little bit wet, but you can see that although that's quite bright, when we make things very watered down and very pale in their value, then you can actually mix more colours together. You can get away with it a little bit more. So yes, I'm quite liking that. I seem to have made a nice few splats all over my page here, but that's all right because I will be popping that, not right now because we need to get on with our painting, but I will tape that in with washi tape, much like I have on this one over the page. So I will be popping that there eventually, but for now I think we can, now that we know what colours we are using, I'm just going to see if I can move that all a little bit. There we go. Now I need some washi tape. We've got some washi tape here because I want, oh no, perhaps we won't use that one. That one seems to have just run out. So let's grab a different washi tape here and find the end. Okay. So I want a border on this. Now you don't have to use the same colours as me. You could pick your own 3 colours. Choose a palette of colours that you like. But I'm going to say try and stick with 3 colours so that it's all quite cohesive if you can. There we go. I'll get that one across there. So while I'm putting my washi tape on, you can have a little go at finding your colours that you want to use. It's not quite long enough, is it? Okay, that's fine. We can add a bit more. I didn't judge that one very well at all, did I? There we go. And then our final one. And go across the bottom there. Okay, we now have our surface. What I'm actually using is this Strathmore Field watercolour book. It doesn't matter though, I mean, as long as you've got cold pressed watercolour paper. This is 350 GSM. I'm using quite a big size. It's 14 inches by 11 inches. And I think I'm also going to use a clip to stop that from bending too much. Right, there we go. So we are just going to start by using very watered down colours. And we're going to be doing shapes. So we can do some circles, and that's one that's kind of just going off the page there. We can have another one here, but they need to be quite pale. And you can have them overlapping as well. I'm going to do like an oval shape next. You don't have to stick with circles. We could have a kind of an oval shape coming out of here. And then we could even have maybe some kind of lines going round. We just want an interesting background, really. So let's get another circle in here. And maybe we'll have more of a oval shape. And as I said, it doesn't matter if they touch and bleed into each other. That's all good. Maybe we'll have something coming across the corner. And that could be another one of those that kind of does that. This will be quite faint. I will bring it up a bit closer so that you can see, but that's the whole idea. We want them to be quite pastel in colour. Let's get another circle in there. We could do a bit more of our coral, couldn't we? Maybe that coral can overlap there. So let's just grab a bit more of that. And then we can get some more of that in here. So we can have smaller circles as well. So perhaps we'll put a smaller one in there. And hopefully you can see these are just all overlapping there. We need to get a bit of yellow in here. So we'll kind of do a circle there. And maybe one that overlaps there. That's gone a bit too faint, I think, so I'm going to add a bit more colour to that one up there. Like that. Let's go back to this mixture. And what should we put down here? Maybe we'll have a smaller circle coming off. And we'll have one overlapping there. Okay. And basically you just keep going, filling up your page with sort of circles and oblongs, and maybe every now and again some of these kind of, so I'm just going to do a line going around that one a little bit. I'm hoping you're getting the idea. Let's add a bit of orange in over here. And it doesn't matter if these colours all mix and merge. And then maybe we'll have something that's a little bit more that kind of shape there. We could have a bit of a, almost a leafy type shape, or an egg shape. And yeah, I'm just using my paint up, and I'm not washing my brush between colours, so I will be getting almost some kind of greys here possibly as well. And I'm just filling in the page. Yeah. So we have now got our pastel colours, and I think we need those to dry before we can move on. So I will be back in a moment once I can find my mouse to pause my recording. Let's have a see. There we go. Okay, so we are back again, and I'll bring this up a little bit closer just so that you can see I've got some cauliflowers where it's bled into other colours. Yeah, we don't need to be precious about it. We're just getting some kind of roundish rather than square, kind of flowy, circular, oval type shapes all merging together. So there we go. That is the start. Then if you look at how I've done this one, we are then going to add in some little dots, little lines. Yeah, dots and lines basically, and maybe a little bit of splatting before we go on to draw our flowers over the top. So that's what we're going to be doing next, putting in some dots and dashes, let's just call them that. So I'm going to go a bit heavier on my colours now, and I don't want them to be too much of a pattern, she says, although of course our heads will always try and make them into a pattern. We'll have some dots here maybe, something like that. While I've still got it on my brush, maybe we'll go down here. So we're just making some little dots, and which I haven't done with the coral, but I think it's nice to do whatever you're doing in 3 places somewhere on your painting. So let's go back to my red dots, and we'll get a few in here like so. And then maybe some down here as well. And I'm not doing perfect dots either, as you can see. Okay, so we've got some dots. Let's get some yellow dots in. Let's try and be a little bit consistent here. And perhaps they are kind of around there. And maybe a few over there. And then finally, maybe up here. And you can go into the white space. It's all good. So we've got a few kind of dots. Let's move on to some little dashes maybe. So we've got some little dashes there. Some there. And maybe we'll have some here. Like that. So we've done our blue dashes. Let's do some coral dashes. Perhaps we'll make them slightly bigger, like that. Where should we put the other one? Here. Like that. So we've done some red dashes. Let's get some blue ones in. I think we'll just do them like that. And we'll pop those up there. And then we need some yellow dashes. And maybe the yellow dashes are going to go here. We'll make them big again, I think. So this is really, you can't go wrong, basically. So there we go. We've got some dots, we've got some dashes. Now, it wouldn't be complete without some splashes. So I'm going to use just one colour for the splashes. And I'm going to choose this quinacridone coral. And I've got a piece of paper here that I'm just going to protect my keyboard. my lovely keyboard that is new and not covered in paint. And I'm just going to get some splats in, basically. And I'm not putting paint on my brush again. I'm just letting it get lighter and lighter each time. So there we go. So we've got a little bit of interest going on. We need that one, whoops, to dry before we can get our pen out. So, yet again, back in a tick. And we are back. So, here we have dots, dashes, very pale pastel 3 colours in the background. And now I have pulled out my Derwent line makers, a 0.3 and a 0.8. I have got a white, I guess you could use a Posca pen. I've got this little white pen here that I'm going to use. I think I got this from Temu. And I've got a couple of my Museum Aquarelle, Caran d'Ache Museum Aquarelle. These are watercolour pencils. And I have got the beryl green and the dark olive out. So let us start with our 0.3. We need a finer line. And we're going to start to get these flowers in. And they're very sketchy flowers, and we're going to be using a continuous line, so we don't stop and we let them overlap. Get my big head out of the way, and hopefully you can kind of see that, and then we can get maybe like a circle in the middle, and we can have that coming down like that. We can then have another one kind of overlapping a little bit, so we can overlap and we can keep going round and have that one there, and then maybe we have a bit of a stalk coming up, and we can have another flower starting from the center. We're drawing a leaf, sorry, a petal, and going around. So there we've got 3, and we can even do some leaves that are, can you see I'm just kind of doing them terribly sketchy. I'm going over the top of everything. So maybe I need to come zoom in a little bit. Let's see if we can bring this down. We move that there. Okay, so what I want is for one to come across, one to come down, so that we're kind of going across the page basically. So I'm going to get some more leaves going on here. Like so. And then from that one we can maybe have another flower coming out, maybe a smaller one like that. Okay, so we've got that coming across there. We need to keep moving across, so I'm going to draw another line and get some more of these leaves in. And you can see I'm not taking my pen off the paper. Now we're going to go over some of these with our 0.8 in a moment. So now I need it coming down this way, and this time I'm going to start with the leaves. Let's hope my head doesn't get in the way. So the sketchier the better. There we go. And then we can have some of the flowers coming out. And I've got a circle there, so that kind of works quite nicely. to go round that circle actually. Like so. And we could have another one, if that's our centre. Have another one here. So, and a smaller one maybe here. So we're just popping these in. And giving the impression of these flowers coming across. So what I want to do now is take my 0.8 and then just choose some things to go over slightly. So that it just darkens it up a little bit. I'm not going over all of them, just some. And I'm not going over them particularly carefully either. There we go. And then we need to do this one down here with a few of its leaves going over the top, and here. And we're just going over the top of, not everything, but some of what we have drawn. I might make that stem a bit deeper or darker. And then let's go over a few of the leaves here. And a few of these petals. Like so, and I will just darken up some of the centres, I think. Like that. And now we can see that that's a bit darker, if you like. I'm then going to take this beryl green, and I want one at the bottom here that is a different texture. So I'm just going to draw, in fact there's a kind of a greeny colour. I could have picked a red and done a red one there, but I'm going to stick with the green that I've got, and I'm going to get another one of those flowers in, and we'll just have that going off that way. Like so. And perhaps we'll take our green and go over some of these leaves a little bit. And because this one is watercolor, we can, where's my paintbrush gone? Here we go. We can then just allow that to smudge a little bit. I'm not trying to fill it in, I'm just allowing it to smudge a little bit. So I've got a real pop of colour in one place. So let's just stand back from this a little bit and see if there is anything else that we want to do. Do I want to darken some of these, or do I bring the white out? Let's bring the white out, and I'm just going to go inside some of these leaves. As I said, you can use like a Posca pen. We'll do the same thing. I could have got my bleed proof white out, but I'm not going to. But just so that you've got a little bit of something else going on here. And then maybe I'll add a few white dots here and there, just so it all ties in. Okay, let's not go overboard here. I think I'm going to leave it at that. I've missed going around this flower though, haven't I? I'm making some of this. Is this my 0.8? Yes, this is my 0.8. Okay, I need to make some of this a little bit more pronounced. I think there, that one wasn't showing up as much. I somehow managed to miss that. Right, well, let us take our washi tape off. Like so. And if I bring that up now, I'm hoping, actually I can't bring it up that high. There we go. I'm hoping that you can see that that really wasn't too difficult to do, and just relaxing and calming and a little bit of fun. And yeah, it's been quite miserable weather here in the UK, sadly, even though we are getting close to the middle of June. So I think I just needed these pretty cheery colours today. But of course you can choose whatever colours that you like. They don't have to be the 3 colours that I picked that, to be honest, looked quite garish until they were watered down. And then they kind of blend together quite nicely as pastels. So something to bear in mind. You know, don't just look at your colours in their highly pigmented state. See what happens when you water your colours down. Do you like those colours a little bit better, rather than thinking, oh, I don't like that colour? Maybe you might use it a little bit more. But I quite like the organic-y type feel that's going on here. And I hope that you have enjoyed doing some calm painting on a Friday with me. And of course, you can stop the video, pause it, and catch up and do it in your own time. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll be looking forward to next Friday's Paint Calm, our regular Paint Calm on a Friday. Until then, thank you so much for watching. Take care, everyone. Stay calm.